Okay, so it's Friday. It's the second full week that I've been here, um, so being housed. So two full weeks, and here I'll show you. So this is a win for me. And we have a. If you want to freeze your screen so you can look at these prices. So I paid $41.48, and these are the groceries that I purchased. There's a bag of chips here. I was just eating them. Ugh. Let's put this back there. There we go. Okay. Bag of chips that's in there as well. But I got some whole wheat bread, uh, and that was on sale. I think for, I thought $3. It said $2.50, I believe. Let's look on here. Um, mm, yep, $2.50. But the peanut butter was, I'm positive it was listed for, last time I purchased it. So this is the natural peanut butter. Um, And last time I purchased it was $5, and then it said it was a certain percentage off, but I thought it said 450, and then I'm looking at my receipt and it says 479, and then same with the milk there too, the chocolate milk. I'm positive it said 150, and now I'm looking at my receipt and it says 175. So next time I go to the grocery store, which will be in a couple days, 'cause I need to buy eggs, I'm going to confirm. I'll take a or a snapshot or a photo if I was correct, and that could reveal there could be some discrepancies between the labels that they're using for the prices and the actual amount that's being registered at the till. So this actually correlates and corresponds to when I was walking. This is one of the earlier videos back in June or July, and I was talking about the importance of you know going through a season of impoverishment, and how it'll reveal to you, if you have a state of impoverishment. And I use the example of like a pocket, and a pocket that has no holes in it. It's a pocket that is whole and complete and does not lack a state of impoverishment. But a pocket that has holes in it is a pocket that is impoverished. So you could pour coins into that pocket, and as long as there's a lot of coins being constantly poured in, you won't notice the amount of coins that are being hemorrhaged or that are leaking out of your pocket. So it's going to be the same thing with depression. Um, you could be in a state of depression but never actually experience it or understand that you're in a state of depression, because you have so much stimuli going on in your life, so many good things are happening and this and that, but meanwhile you're extremely depressed deep down inside. So going through a season of lack is really, really good, because then it will reveal to you the actual state that you're in. And these things are really hard to see when you have a plenty pouring in or you have a surplus pouring in. So much like the example with like your pocket, the moment you have very few funds coming into your pocket is the moment you realize, oh goodness, I need to be aware of how much, like where I'm spending and how much I'm saving. It's not how much you make, it's how much you save. We've all heard that adage, and there's a lot of truth in that. And then all of a sudden you realize, wait a second, I just had enough for this week given to me. I put those coins in my pocket. Now I only have half of that. It's because you're in a state of impoverishment. So the beautiful thing is now you're able to identify and see that there's a problem. You're at a point of humility where you can see there's a problem, and then you can start searching around and identify the different holes that are in the pocket. And then once those holes are they're addressed and they're remedied, then you're able to receive funds or money, and the more money that flows in, the more money you're able to save. As much as you keep those learning lessons and keep bringing those learning lessons with you, or keep, yeah, carrying those learning lessons with you. It's going to be the same thing with depression, the same thing with pretty much everything that we go through in our life. And so that being said, so normally, like when I had lots of discretionary income, I would never really pay attention to what I was purchasing, because I always had more than enough money. No matter how much I filled my cart, I had more than enough money in the bank to, like, I never had to worry about being able to afford or to pay the bill that was coming forth. Now that that's not the case, I'm in a very favorable position where I'm able to identify, okay, what do I actually need? What is, I'll compare like the prices. So like with the popcorn there's another box, same, it was oh goodness, there was half the amount of bags in there, and the bags were all each the same size, and it was more than half the price. So I figured, okay, for to pay like a little bit more, it's like it would be like buying double of like the first box that I grabbed a hold of, and then buying one and then getting the other one for like 40% off or 60% off. So paying 40% for the next one. So I thought, okay, that's wonderful. The milk is a really good deal. The chips, I just bought them because for some reason I like it. The chips are not healthy at all, and I totally understand. The hot dogs are not healthy at all. I totally understand that, but the hot dogs were on sale for $3 and $2 respectively. So like the 12 pack and then the 6 pack of jumbo hot dogs. But they're all. I was thinking with like the pizza. The pizza was actually on sale too for $3.50, and I was thinking I'll just wait until um, cheese goes on sale, and then for around $4, and then I'll use one of the hot dogs, and I'll just have like a cheese and hot dog pizza, and there's enough for 2 pizzas there. So that will equate to it'll be under $10 in total if I get the cheese for, we're say around like $4. So it'll be around $7 or $8 that I paid, and that's for 2 pizzas, 2 large pizzas. So that's quite wonderful, and it's not healthy for me at all, but it's just a discount food. But anyhow, I'm this is a win for me. I'm quite pleased. And I'm going to show you the fridge, and we'll have a quick look in here. Ugh. Okay. So I got some bananas up there. Got my carrots. I got the eggs at the back there. I have a couple things of peanut butter down there, and I've just been taking my water bottles, and I just fill them up at the gym, and then put them in the fridge. Let them get nice and cold, and so anyway, so I paid $42 for this. The last 2 weeks, I've spent $50 in groceries. So I have some. You see, I have some carryover there, and I have some chicken in the freezer. So this can last me for a little bit, and I'm gonna go, and as soon as I'm finished those eggs that are in there, I'm gonna go and get an 18 pack of eggs this time, and this is a big win for me. I'm very, very happy to have this. One of the biggest disappointments that I had in myself when I was working a job that paid a very good salary, and had a lot of discretionary income, or more discretionary income than I have now, was I always had a fridge and freezer full of food, but I was constantly tossing things out. Like fruits and vegetables were going bad, and then they go, gross, and then I'd toss them out, and I feel so terrible. In the freezer, food would get freezer burned. Ugh, goodness. And then I'd toss it out, and I'd always think this is money. Like I should be like the more money I make, I should be saving it so I can actually help those that have less, so I can give to those that are in need. But a habit that I was doing was the more money I made, the more frivolous I was, the less informed I was with what I was purchasing and the price that I was paying. So this is one of the main benefits of going through a season of impoverishment, is you learn the value of what you're purchasing, and you also learn to be very not only resourceful but very economical with what you're purchasing, and just purchase what you need in the moment, and then consume what you need, and then as you need more, go and purchase more. And you'll find that it's a more, when I say economic, it's economic in both like the financial state, but also economic in terms of the consummation, not consummation, the consuming. Anyways, the word I'm looking for means you're being very wise with the amount of food that you're consuming versus the amount of food that you're purchasing. So there's less waste. And so this is a big win. And when I was at the grocery store, I was thinking, okay, so one of the biggest learning lessons is to like not only learn this lesson, but to carry forth this lesson with me. So when I move into a position where I have more and more and more finances coming in, I want to retain these learning lessons and not be dictated by the surplus that I have, but to be intentional to go and to continue to purchase and make my purchases from a sound, disciplined mind, with the intent that I am blessed to have these things. I am nothing more than an ambassador of the things that God has entrusted me with. And one of the main things is, and I can tidy these up. Don't get me wrong. Like I can start making healthier choices, but one of the main things is the healthy choices and the financially to be the financial discipline or literacy that's being implemented. And these are all wonderful learning lessons that you can learn experientially, and I'm learning experientially, and they're going to serve and prove their weight in gold. And I find one of the major things this has taught me is not only my former sense of extreme entitlement and the impact, or like the impact that I was able to see or perceive from that entitlement, the negative impact, but also um, my former state of being pampered. And so that entitlement carried over to my personal taste, where, like, say for instance, I wouldn't eat cucumbers, or wouldn't eat kiwis, or certain foods because I was really picky, or I thought I was really picky. I wasn't being very picky, I was being very entitled. Now I realize, and this is what going through a season of impoverishment teaches you, is when you're intentional with what you're eating, you shift from living to eat to eating to live. So then you choose foods that are healthy for you. You choose foods that are going to give you more energy. And I know as I'm saying this, you're probably thinking, wait a second, wait a second. But, and then you realize, okay, my taste buds and my appetite should not rule my thoughts. If they rule my thoughts, that means they have I want to say dominion, but it's a deeper word than that. They have domination over my thoughts. They have domination over my choices. There's something terribly wrong with that. And I think of Daniel in the book of Daniel, when he chose to not eat like the king's royal food, and how and he ate. It sounded like he had like more like water and vegetable diet, and how everybody supposed, or the eunuch supposed, that he was going to look like he was like famished and look weak, and it would impact him greatly. But God blessed him, and he actually him and all those that ate of the same food choices, in obedience to God, and to seek God, they actually it showed like their mental fortitude and mental faculties they're at a heightened level, and they also looked physically, they looked strong, and they looked like they were very well nourished. And so anyway, so these are really, really wonderful, wonderful learning lessons. And I've noted too, once you force yourself to eat healthier foods, give yourself 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, your taste palette will change. And when your taste palette changes, you realize the things that you would grimace about eating before, they're actually not that bad at all. And then the things that you used to really delight in, you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is way too sweet, or this is way too whatever. And so everything changes. So you realize there is a major impact that we have in terms of what we're subjected to, and what we believe is normal or normalcy, and then what we're conditioned to believing that we enjoy and that we like. And then after that changes, you realize, oh, these are all just conditioning. So it's not like so then it throws away that thought, or that supposition, or that belief system of, oh no, I like this, I'm just picky, I like that, I'm just picky. No, there's entitlement there, and you're only saying you're picky because you haven't stepped out, or for me, I haven't stepped out of my comfort zone, and then given an honest attempt to try something new and to stick with it. And then once you stick with it, you realize, oh yeah, now I'm conditioned to like this. So my taste is actually subjective to what I subject myself to. And with what I subject myself to, it's wise to be intentional, because you're always going to pay the consequences, whether they're good consequences or negative consequences. So anyways, I'm very happy to share this, and always good to have these good and wonderful learning lessons.